If you're posting content right now and it's not leading to anything, there's a reason for that. Welcome back to Building the Future of Health. Last week we talked about how to look professional on camera, so lighting, audio, all of that. But honestly, none of that matters if the content itself isn't working. So this week we wanted to zoom out and talk about what actually makes content work. So we're here with Stephanie Tornatore, who built Fit Couple Cooks into a YouTube channel with over 600,000 subscribers around healthy meal prep. She also wrote Healthy Meal Prep, the book, and Plant-Based Meal Prep. It was in Costco and Target, and now she runs the Frequency Solution. And then we're here with JP Lambiase, who created Healthy Junk Food and grew it into a 3 million subscriber channel. And he's been helping other channels grow through public speaking, workshops, and working with private clients for the last 3 years. So between the two of them, they've been part of content that's generated billions of views. And I'm really excited to really dive in. They've actually built channels, figured out what works, and adapted as things changed, most importantly. And one of the biggest things we see, especially with practitioners, is this idea that I don't want to be an influencer. So today we're going to break down why most content doesn't work and what to do instead. Why do most people post consistently and it doesn't lead to anything? You see those posts, 2 likes, maybe your mom and your girlfriend. Why does some content not land?
I think for the most part that a lot of people are trained from all the stuff that you see online is you got to post, you got to feed the machine, you got to upload. That's not good enough advice because yeah, sure, you got to do that, but it's what you upload that is what really matters. And if you're just doing some quantity game and you're not seeing any results and you're not changing what you're doing, it's like insanity, right? You're just going to keep getting the same results. Now, I do understand that some people might pivot and try different stuff and still flatline categories. And I would say value, and value comes from entertainment, education, maybe learning. Those are 2 different things. Learning could be like showing you how to do something. And then the entertainment value. And then if you can add in awe-inspiring, and then even if you could do something that would be almost globally recognized, gives you a larger reach too. So if you don't need words to convey what you're doing, you have a universal language that also does help. So just look at your content and see if it offers any of that stuff.
What do you think practices or anyone trying to do social media may be doing that feels right, but actually isn't working? They're in a groove, they're posting, but they're not getting any results.
Yeah, it just comes back to the content itself. Look at the content and see, yeah, you can be feeling it, but if you're not adding value in the terms of learning, education, and entertainment, and again, entertainment could be just your characteristic, who you are as a person, your identity, your touch on it is the unique value that you're adding to it. But yeah, it really is case by case. And we talk about hooks and all this stuff, but I'm telling you, if you have something that gave someone good information and only not everyone scrolled past it, right? But someone liked it and really retained it and it gave value, then that's going to keep getting served to in the algorithm, the space. And you're going to be one of those people that are like, man, I keep seeing this. And eventually you just watch it, right? That's something that means that the hook didn't matter. Everyone was passing it, but because it's just performing. So, and the algorithm knows when it's performing well. It's a genuine desire for the content. It has nothing to do with baiting or any of that nonsense. It's like actual, this is, wow. You look at your content, the people that are doing this every week, look at it and go, you look at what you made and go, wow. Or did you look at it and be like, we're just uploading content. We're doing it every day. You know?
Yeah. I think that's a big reason people don't even start, especially practitioners, is they think they have to become influencers, hit the algorithm. It takes the fun out of it a little bit, and then they feel inauthentic.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of white noise, obviously, on social media. And I think people are just in this idea like, I just have to keep posting. And then I've worked with people even that are showing me what they want to post. And I'm just like, this isn't going to catch anyone's attention. It's just going to be more white noise and people are going to scroll. And that's when it's really helpful to have someone like JP who's just like, here, let's take this content and be able to make it better and schedule it out and do all the things. So that way it takes a lot of effort off of your plate. So sometimes it's just helpful to have someone to talk to and be like, hey, this isn't working. What do I do? So
yeah, people don't want to waste their time. They don't have a lot of time to begin with. So it helps to know that what you're putting your energy into is actually going to result in something. So we talk about the difference.
I was gonna say it's a global thing though. Like it's not even social media. It's just having a coach, having someone that gives you feedback. Because if you're in it on your alone, you're not getting that, you're not getting the back and forth. You know what I mean? And you really need that. You need that with a lot of things that you're trying to get good at, or you need help with, or you don't even want to do yourself. You need a coach.
For sure. That's a good point, actually. Is like people take their content and say, like, hey, let's work on this. So yeah, it's very helpful to have someone. People don't necessarily think about social media as like
JP, you mentioned something in an earlier meeting we had about the 4 C's. Can you break that down for us?
Yeah. So again, like when we're talking about creating content, it's not just white noise, just doing all this random hoopla. You do want to have a plan, a foundation. And in that plan and foundation, I always talk about creating an identity for yourself. That's kind of similar to creating a brand. So when we're talking about those C's, they just so happen to be like a catchphrase would be one of them. A
Mm,
costume. A costume could be like these red glasses. It doesn't, or you could be ridiculous and peacock and be in a giant unicorn onesie or something.
and
yeah,
we
big
have
lippy.
Your
mentioned the other day.
skateboard, and then the mascot, the character part of it, that is important too, because that's something I feel like the least amount of people I see do, and that's create a character that is in that it could be an inanimate object. Like, hey, look at my water bottle. Call him Mr. Water. Call him Mr. Kirkland.
Yeah, you had Mr. Pig.
Yeah, and Kirkland has an alter ego. He is going to challenge me. Or he could just be the cute little dog that everyone's like, "Oh, where's Muffin?" or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's so strong. And then a catchphrase could be something that doesn't have to be gimmicky and hacky, which does work.
Yeah, mine was for Fit Couple Cooks. It was so let's get started. Said it on every
Yeah,
episode.
so let's get started. And that's simple. That doesn't even, that's more organic. I mean, and then
Yeah. Here.
One second.
I got them up here.
I wanted to take notes. I feel like I'm learning so much already.
Character, costume, catchphrase, consistency.
Oh, the
Oh,
consistency.
okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the last one was just wrapping it all into you have to do it every episode. You want to do it every episode. Now, don't sacrifice an idea of content because you are forcing yourself to throw in Mr. Water, but you want to be consistent at least with how you look. And the reason that is because as you're scrolling through, there's so much now that what makes you stand out. And if you don't have that consistency, then you're one person could see the one video that you're not consistent at, and they don't.
Right.
So
Yeah, people used to find like, super old videos and be like, "This looks different," and I'd be like, "That was because it was years ago before I found all of my 4 C's."
you know what I mean? I do think that organically, but you could.
Yeah. Are you referring to, just for the audience, are you referring to people in the videos themselves, or are you referring to even just when they're using faceless content? Do they still have
Yes.
to have the 4 C's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How does that apply to someone who's not trying to be a personality, but just trying to build trust, provide education, hit the algorithm to a
that's-
certain extent?
It's all the same. You just don't have the only thing you're lacking is their face, right? So it could be anything. It could be an avatar. It could be their style of editing. It's like a brand, like branding. That's all it really comes down to. It's just a clever, flavorful way of branding. And that branding needs to stay consistent. The colors need to stay consistent. The borders need to stay. Your font, even going into your own custom captions. I think custom captions are so important because everyone's captioning now and they all look the same. You have
Yeah.
your own custom captions, you immediately stand out. It's a weird aesthetic level that kind of sets you apart.
Makes sense.
You made a video called How I Built My YouTube Channel to 3 million subscribers. And I remember the part where you showed what your first videos looked like, and it was like messy,
Yeah.
the lighting was off, but you just started and then you found your way. I thought that was pretty cool to see how it started, what it grew into. When was the first time you realized this is actually working with
Oh,
healthy junk food?
oh, that's a good question. I would say that you as a creator start to know something's working when you can start coming up with ideas for more videos that are better than your original ideas. Because you think about how many people start off going, I got the best idea for a channel. I'm going to be awesome. And then they make a couple videos. They don't do anything. And then they're like, oh, I can do even better things. That's how you know you're on the right track because you're what you're doing is you're learning and evolving. Whereas you did this, you're disappointed, and you're like, it didn't work, and then you give up. Someone that says, wait a second, and that really is an important factor of how evolution and pivoting when you're doing stuff online. You can't be so headstrong on one idea that you thought was going to be this $1 million idea and then just butcher it to the ground and then get mad. You have to constantly evolve. So
Yeah.
so the fast food I think is where I really, and this is so early on. We had no level of success. It's the belief of succeeding that's important. It's not, hey, when did you reach success? No, when were you like, I'm in this. I'm gonna do this. I love doing this. I'm gonna do this. I don't care. I have no expectation, but I think this is a good idea, and I get more ideas to come. And that was with the fast food because before we were just making recipes of random stuff. And then the focus zeroed in on, hey, let's recreate fast food, healthy at home. And I'm like, oh, and I'm a fast food junkie. So it's like on brand with the whole problem that got me in the place of doing healthy junk food was to stop eating fast food. So I knew all the menu items. I'm like, oh,
That was me. I was in that one.
and then what happened was people were like, make this, make that. And then they're giving you content ideas. You know, you're making it when people are engaging. I would say that's another big factor. It's like, you're not alone. Like, we didn't like, when you stop asking your friends to watch your content, that's when
Yes. When I had to stop asking my mom to
you
like
didn't need
comment.
to, because you didn't need to. It
That was
didn't
when I
even
was like,
matter if
wow,
it
I
was
got it.
5 people, right? Didn't even matter if it was 5. You had 5 strangers that were watching you. You got to celebrate those little victories. People, I think they expect too much out of themselves too soon. Dude, be happy with those 5 people. That's wild. You got 5 strangers to like you.
That's funny. I
Yeah.
remember when we took off was when I was making food content that was healthy, very minimal ingredients. And I would always say, just make extra and leave it in your fridge. But I never actually used the words meal prep until
Yeah.
one day, JP knows, he was with me in the trenches, helping me out. That for 2 years, I was getting hardly any views, but I was consistent every week, made videos. I never gave up. And then all of a sudden, we posted a video that was called How to Meal Prep. And all of a sudden, overnight, there was like 10,000 views. And we were like, what just happened? And so JP was talking about you have to pivot sometimes. And so all of a sudden, we pivoted into just calling every single video How to Meal Prep. And then it was like chicken, How to Meal Prep, blah. And that was what essentially made everything skyrocket. So you do always have to constantly be like aware of what's going on, pay attention to the different things that you're seeing, likes, comments, people are sharing. And when people do start asking you for content, that's when you're like, okay, cool. They like this. Let's keep doing this. And then content. And then we would post a fitness video and nobody watched it. And so we were like, oh, okay, let's go back to the meal prep.
Yeah.
So you always have to be paying attention and ready to pivot at any moment when you're looking at your content. And again, this is where JP comes in handy because JP is going to do a deep dive of your content and be like, hey, let's focus on this, so it's helpful.
I wanted to talk more about that because I feel like that's a non-starter for a lot of my clients. They want a plan. What's my 90 days look like? And when you were early on, did you make 30 days worth, or did you have the next 10 ideas, or did you just come up with what felt right that day?
Okay, so the mindset of starting off when it's a hobby is different than a business, though. For a hobby, you're just enjoying it. But once it starts turning into a business, yeah, there's pages and pages of ideation. That's, I would say, your number one most important part. And that's when we were going all the way back to the beginning when you're saying that people just post and nothing happens. Ideation is the secret sauce, which is why it's secret, because the idea is the genius. The idea is the bread and butter. It's the milk and cookies. It's everything. It's the idea. Executing the great idea is extremely important. You have a great idea. You better do a good job executing it. So you got to pair your great idea with great execution, and then you will be a meal fit couple cook. You'll be meal prep. You'll be giant food. You'll be hitting these crazy numbers because you're able to take the good idea and present it in a way that people can digest online. They can, with good editing, good pacing, good hooks, good storytelling, and whatever other characteristics you can add to it.
Yeah, I think like all day long, I'll just get a random idea pop in my head and I have a notes on my phone and I just add the next idea. What's the next one? What's the next
Yep.
one? So there's constantly ideas going on.
The hierarchy keeps changing. You're like, oh, what about that one? Nah, that one's not that good anymore. We got 3 others that are
Yep.
like you
Yeah.
have so many ideas. That is and just research all day. I don't know how much literally my just all day we're just doing market research. We're on all the platforms where the stuff wouldn't even exist.
Yeah.
And there's a common trope that people say, oh, you're clearly running out of ideas. The funny thing is, you never run out of ideas. You run out of good ideas. That's what you run out of. Like
Yeah.
that good idea list is getting slimmer and slimmer. And that's when you have to either pivot or get really creative because you can only milk some of the stuff out so much. Once you hit
Yeah.
something, you want to capitalize on it, but you can only milk it you can only wring it out so much.
Yeah. And again,
Yeah, a lot of our clients are very creative. They're creative entrepreneurs and they're almost overwhelmed by how many ideas they have. So they don't start. And there's an element of personal growth too when you're starting to represent yourself online and start to talk freely. And it's very important to have that person to bounce ideas off of. And
for sure. That was actually my motto for Chef Steph. I would just always tell people just start because it is so hard to have all these ideas and you get like, what's that word that you're like, you have so many ideas. And you
analysis paralysis.
Yeah, you're paralyzed by all of your ideas. And yeah, it's a tricky thing to actually get in front of the camera, which is another way that we can help is that.
That's why we call it marketing practice. You're finding what works for you. There's all different angles you can take. Even a faceless account, like JP was saying, just depends on what the idea is. Do you remember what did your content look like before it worked? Like, did you evolve your setting and everything over time?
Yeah, I started with a flip camera. And remember the flip cameras? Yeah, they were like this big and I had it on a tripod and I had these ridiculously huge lights that were just so unnecessary. And I could never figure out the shadows and all that. So eventually I just would only film in the daytime. So yeah, my videos definitely evolved over time, which is again why I always would tell people just start. You don't have to have the highest quality equipment. Literally just start. How many content creators do you see that just make videos and you're watching it and you're like me and JP are probably thinking, wow, the production level is low, but they still have millions of views because it's about the person or their content or whatever it is. Don't get into that analysis paralysis because it's really about you or the faceless content or whatever it is, your content.
Yeah. Do you remember your first video that really took off?
That was the meal prep video. How to meal prep. All of a sudden overnight, bam, just
hit the algorithm.
Hit the algorithm. And I had already been building up the algorithm for 2 years, but it wasn't until that specific video that all of a sudden took off. So and the rest is history.
Do you know what made that one a hit? It was just the title?
I think it was, I had all of the things that JP was talking about, all the 4 C's I didn't even know the 4 C's back in the day, but we had the character, we had the costumes, we had the catchphrases, we were doing all those things naturally. I even did all those things when I started just as Chef Steph. I had pearls on and I had the keep it classy. And people will still quote that, JP. They'll still sing my theme song and they'll just quote me. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so funny. This was like 15 years ago.
We're all about that. Reboots. That's what Hollywood is now. Let's just reboot.
Oh.
I almost don't even want to indulge this because it's recycle the same concepts that worked. Start seeing some food videos of people doing stuff that I did in 2016 and it's killing it. I'm like, you're killing it. And I'm like, wait a second. I did that. But it's now no one's watching 2016 content. So I'm just saying you could just redo it. You could get on right now and start meal prepping. But I do think that what I'm leading towards is I've been working with some clients and I've been seeing some really high viewed videos of stuff that I'm like, I could make that. And it was 10 years ago. And I'm like, looks like it needs an update. You know what I mean? And if it got 10 million views, what's to say it doesn't? So I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So I'm in the works of testing that out right now.
That's cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excited to see that.
Good to see that.
Yeah. The video idea or the video is how the plumbing works in your house.
You told me that, and I was like,
Yeah.
I would like to know
I
that.
would like to know. Yeah. I was watching, I'm like, oh, this is so valuable. And that's what I mean by value. It's so if you watch something and you're like, this is valuable, it's so good. Think about when you're driving to work and you're listening to something like, I got so much value from that. And that's again, like I'm gonna keep coming back to that. That's good content. And if you're wanting to know if your content's good, watch your own content. And when you're done, do you feel like you got value from it?
That's actually
Yeah.
a very smart thing to do.
Yeah,
Instead
we
of
don't
just
want
looking-
to watch. Yeah, a lot of us create, but don't want to actually digest what we made. I go, watch it again.
My
Watch
client,
it.
Kyle, today, he said, I saw what you posted. We filmed a podcast for him. I co-hosted it to help him get it started. And he was like, I didn't watch it though. I'll come back to it later. And I was like, I hear Hollywood celebrities say they never watch their own movies. And he was like, thanks for saying that. I feel better.
Now you gotta tell him what JP
But
said.
maybe he should look at it then. How else are you going to know?
It's
Okay.
true. You actually do learn a lot by watching yourself. You watch yourself and you just learn, oh, I say this a lot, or I do that, or I blink in a certain way, or it's very helpful to watch yourself back on video. And I know that's something Russell Brunson teaches. He says you actually get yourself in front of the camera and get better at it every time you do it, because watch it back and see what you're doing and be able to help, because especially I'm also in the theater world as well. We own a theater company. So when people oftentimes are acting, they don't even realize that they're not moving their eyebrows or they're talking like this. As soon as you open up your eyes, you look at that on camera and you go, oh, whoa, that looks so different. So it's very important to watch your own content back. That's a good one, JP.
I went to a marketing agency owner conference a couple of years ago, and they were talking about podcasting for growth. It was actually like when I decided this is what I want to do, and that's why we're here. But Josh Nelson made everyone get up out of the room in this conference area and make their first selfie video, and it was so awkward. And but I didn't want to be the guy who didn't do it. I made this rambling video. I'd have it. Maybe one day I'll post it. But I watched it back, and I was like, you know what? I could improve that. I noticed I was saying I wasn't quite sure what I was saying. The lighting, the camera angle. Steph's always big on lighting. Turning around makes a world of difference if you know where to point the light at or the camera at. But I spent like a month watching myself and then felt confident to start making content I would actually publish.
I made a house out of junk food.
Oh, it sounds like a lot of work.
Remember that.
And
Wow.
and tons of, and this has got to go viral.
That is actually a very good point, is that the amount of times where you're putting so much emphasis on a video and you think it's going to be amazing. There's one year that I did a Thanksgiving video and it was like the most perfect aesthetic. The picture was beautiful and it got 5 views or whatever. I was like, what just happened? I worked so hard on this video. And that's a really good thing to bring up, is that we are experienced content creators, and we will also tell you that sometimes videos or whatever just flop. You're not going to get the views or the likes or the shares that you think you're going to get. And all that means is tomorrow, do the same thing.
Consistency.
Don't give up after, oh my gosh, I've been posting for a week and I have 2 likes. You cannot go into social media with that kind of mindset. You just have to go into it with, my business is going already. Like, I am a business owner and therefore I need to continue posting content. And if I'm having trouble doing that, we talk to Bill, JP, Stephanie, and Jenna.
So it doesn't shake your confidence or anything like that?
No,
Do that?
no, not at all.
Confidence? What are the C's?
Fits
5 C's.
Yeah. Sometimes it's more, I wouldn't say confidence, it's more of the frustration. It's like, put so much effort into this. That's more of the emotion that I would get rather than the confidence. But
Yeah, because we realize even though that didn't work, we still have to make another one. That's the thing, though. We didn't do
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Was there ever a point where you didn't want to keep doing it?
Yeah, I think when you first start out, it's really hard. Yeah, I think I was 4 months in, and then I got demonetized, and I was like, it took a summer off, and I remember going to the computer and be like, I don't want to edit, don't want to do this. I'm like, closed it. I'm like, all right, we're not doing this. And then a miracle happened. I got an email from some network, a multi-channel network. Said, we really like your stuff, but we haven't seen you post in a while. If we partner with you, and they promised me all this stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I made it. So if it wasn't for my delusion of this company actually had their better interest in me, I probably wouldn't have, I probably wouldn't have, I probably would have just gave up. And then they got me on a weekly thing. And that's something that I would say was the thing that solidified everything was I was doing it kind of for them, not for me. I don't want to let them down. Kind of like when you carpool. You ever carpool to work and you wake up real early and you make sure you pick them up and you get to work on time because you don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
I'll be late. I'm like, snooze. But if I gotta get someone to work, so I made sure I got those videos done. And then that's when I started the new recipes every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I would even have it pop up on this lower third, like the Food Network or something, or like cable TV. I would keep reminding the viewer. And then that's the big consistency right there. That's 9 a.m. So, like that was a deadline. No matter what happened, we gotta get that video out at that time on that day, and we cannot disappoint. And then what it was is we cannot let down the audience. So it's no longer like had nothing to do with you. It's the obligation to the audience.
I remember that. I did that too. I don't
Yeah,
remember when it was,
didn't
but
it help you though? It helps you stay accountable.
oh yeah,
And consistent.
Yes, and definitely, yeah.
for sure. JP, I just thought of a question for you.
Yeah.
So since you're helping so many content creators now, what's one of the things that you took from all of the things that you learned? What's the most important thing that you learned that you now use to help other people?
Yeah, I think it's exactly kind of what I brought up in the beginning is that value aspect of everything is what stayed consistent with people performing well, like the clients that I've been helping out. But the thing is, I kind of like, I didn't rush into, we should do this. I absorbed the business and what it does. I think that's very important. You can start creating right away, don't get me wrong. But as you absorb what is happening with each client, you start to understand where their pocket, their niche, or what they do, what you want to make content from what they do. Because if you visit anybody, it could be you could go in so many directions. Or you're maybe I guess it all depends. But when I found the direction I wanted to go with some of these companies, it was kind of aha moment. And with that direction I took, I was like, you'll the same feeling you get when you're rocking and rolling with the healthy junk food or the chef's staff is that you're like, I got something that I can repeat and I can keep doing. And when you find that, you're just to give a reference of numbers, we're talking 50 to 100 videos. You're like, oh man, there's like, I got with one client, I got one where I'm like, there's infinite. We're never gonna run out of ideas.
Yeah.
There's so much involved.
That's awesome.
And
Yep.
everyone's a profession and making a living with this business, they are offering value. Otherwise, they're not in business. So how do
Right.
you take the value that each client has and then balloon animal into it and be like, there's a poodle. But that's what you're doing. You're taking this company and you're putting it online and people are going like, wow, right? And I think a lot of companies don't know how to do that. They'll just post a photo of a group photo of I don't know, or
The team.
much more to offer than a happy Halloween post on Facebook, friends and family that.
You grabbed up Google Images.
And so
That's
I
too
thought
funny.
of a question though. So when you know something's doing well and you want to replicate that for future content, are there certain factors that you're looking at to base those decisions off of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think just recently I sat down at a Waffle House and interviewed a lady, and the minute a moment happened, I was like, that's gonna go viral. And then I edited it right away and uploaded it, and it has 5 million views.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So I knew right away.
Yeah.
But I do entertainment, so like I'm gauging it off of how hilarious the situation is. So it's easier to determine those types of things in the moment when you're like, I'm like, oh, that's it. Ding. Timestamp.
Yeah.
Boom. Editor, hold a piece of paper, you know what I mean? Do whatever you can, a visual cue to be like, this is a good moment. I don't normally do that though, because I edit in my head when I produce, but I do tell people that are more either novice or trying to run a business to have visual cues for editors if they're outsourcing. It's pretty smart.
For sure.
Yeah.
I was going to say, so let's just say that we have a massage client that just joined Resonance Agency. How do you and JP work together to help them with their social media? So this is you first.
JP said something just a minute ago about finding they wouldn't be in business if they didn't provide value. So finding that value, first of all, and then in marketing practice terms, what's something that they can get on camera and talk about consistently that will come off as authentic. So you really got to find that angle.
So when you hire a Resonance Agency, you're getting the social media content. What do you call it? The creator studio. You know, tell them about creator studio.
Oh, we made Content Studio.
Content Studio.
So a lot of people are using ChatGPT and then texting me like at 4 a.m, like all this stuff. And clients are very creative. So we made Content Studio so you can talk to something like ChatGPT, but plan out your ideas. You can make a 90-day content calendar, and then you can actually spawn all the different variants for the different platforms. So if you have an idea that starts as this would be a good blog post, you can generate the variants for Facebook, your personal profile, your business profile, LinkedIn, YouTube, and that kind of helps you see the can bring you to.
Yeah.
And then it publishes right to Frequency OS, which then can publish to all your platforms at once. So it just saves a lot of time, helps you get the ideas out of your head and into somewhere that either we can take that idea and help you film it and edit it, or it's free to use. So you can go to frequencymarketer.com and use Content Studio. And then when you feel like you're ready, you might want to call us up then and say, okay, we have something worth filming here.
And so now that Bill built this, it is so much easier to click a button and it just gives you what you need for each caption you need for all the different tools, which is really cool. And then if someone wants extra help with social media, so that if you're like a person that's like, please just take it off my hands, I don't want to do most of this stuff, that's when JP comes in and says, here, let me help you. I'm going to take it off your hands so you don't have to worry about it and make your life much easier. So we have like all these tools for you because social media is so key for your business. So
Yeah, one of the things I'm going to add is foundationally, a lot of people don't even know to even ask the question that they need to be asking. And that is optimizing all of the channels that they create if they're not already created, or optimizing the channels that are already created. I've gone through so many back end channels, people, other clients, and they're not optimizing them at all. They're basically making themselves invisible. So they already don't have the foundation, and it's tedious. It's a web design or web optimization, going through every single column and making sure that you got your upload defaults right, you have your region set correctly, you have your hashtags for your channel visibility set correctly, you have payouts set up correctly for monetization. Some people probably don't even know that they could be making money on their channels right now because they don't have it set up right. I had a friend that was like, wait, I thought you just make money. I'm like, no, you have to fill out forms and you have to go through a lot of verification, and these are very tedious steps, and the infrastructure is constantly changing. TikTok's backend doesn't look like it did a year ago. Instagram doesn't look like it's a lot of there's a lot of legwork that needs to be done that I guarantee you is not optimized, and we'll go into it just like I don't know, like a doctor, and just fix it all up. Be like, oh, we got to move that there and pick that there, oh, get rid of that, and boom, and then. But luckily, that's like it's a one-time thing for each. Once you have it, you're pretty much good to go, unless you decide to rebrand or do something pivot crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Sure.
Our primary package is called Foundation. For that reason, you kind of need that baseline before you can even think about anything. And one thing I wanted to do differently with this agency compared to before, but what I wanted to do differently with this agency was like make good use of social media, because you see all kinds of clients coming out with content that's getting 500,000 views, and they're actually getting patients and clients from the content they're producing. And that's a fun place to be.
together. And when I heard about what he does and what his agency is and all that kind of stuff, I literally point blank said to his face, me as a social media content creator, I would never hire an agency, because They have never done the nitty-gritty work that me and JP have done. We have been in the trenches. And Bill knew that. He was like,
Yeah.
exactly. That's why I want to truly get the best out of the person, the best out of their content. Like JP's talking about, getting that their genius across to the audience. Because there are, of course, a million massage therapists. There's a million chiropractors. But what makes you special is the most important part of content creating. And so if you haven't been a content creator, you don't necessarily know how to find that in a person. And so that's where JP and I have this extra expertise in, so that we can really help you as a client be able to come across the way that, one, you want to be seen on social media, but also, two, the way that is going to help you generate the most business. Because that's the most important part of you posting on social media. JP say it's not about the happy Thanksgiving post that you make. It's like you sharing your story and being authentic and saying, this is why I started a chiropractic company. This is why I love doing massage. That's just so important. And so that's what we're hoping to help you achieve as a client.
It deserves a lot of attention.
And
Go
people
ahead,
will
Jen.
connect with that too, because authenticity is the highest frequency too. So they'll relate more to it if it's real and genuine.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Well said.
Yeah. Namaste.
Yeah, and to get the biggest reward from social media, if someone is with a business or a client decides to really take it on, is that people will want to come see you just because they've watched you. They'll be like, I want to go there just because I watch them all the time. And oh my God, they're in Connecticut. I'm in Connecticut. They're like, I want to see them in person. They're like a celebrity to me. Look at people like that will just go because if I saw a dentist right now on you and I watched this dentist, I'm like, I'm getting my teeth cleaned. Like I don't even brush, but I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I just think that there is a bit of this repetition where you see the face, people will want to just see, will come.
For sure. It's a good point.
Like the local commercial you grew up watching. I want to see you see the guy like, hey, you're the guy at the car commercial. You're at the
Yeah.
commercial. We'll see you right here. And I'm like, I want to see that guy. I want to see we'll see you right here guy. I love that guy.
It's so true. That's cute.
The stats don't lie. It's good to look at that stuff.
Yeah. I've done certain social media posts where someone will be like, I booked because of this specific post. You just the more you post, the more you're going to get people who are like, wow, I really liked that post. It resonated with me. It made me feel like you were talking to me. You just share your stories and you never know what someone's going to really resonate with. So
Yeah.
Construction company today got a call and a lead. I'm like asking where he got it. And they said they saw us on the TikTok, the one that hit 300,000.
nice.
Nice.
They're like, oh, we saw, because I literally had the phone number and the website just stamped on the top of the video the whole time.
That's awesome.
Like oh, 407, that's Florida, that's Orlando.
That's crazy. I had one video go crazy on TikTok and I filled out a retreat that I started. This is just part of my frequency business. And I made a video and it just went crazy. And I had people booking for the retreat that I didn't even know. And I was thinking like,
Wow.
are they serial killers? I don't know. Do I give them the location? That's weird. It wasn't about the retreat, but they found out about the retreat because then they went and stalked my page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just never know what video is just going to take off and then people find you and book and it's great.
So if someone's listening to this and they've been overthinking content, let's close out with this. What's the first thing they should do?
If they've been overthinking,
Yeah,
someone's
not
listening
doing
to this and they're like their friends and their colleagues have been saying you really should post on social media or you should start a podcast, and they want to, and maybe they do public speaking already and know they're capable of it, but they're kind of overthinking it. They don't know what to talk about. Like, what's something that we could help them just get started? The first thing they should do.
the first thing they should do is hit us up.
I was thinking that too.
That's it. Just hit us up.
Yeah,
Because
we got you.
a discussion is literally what the first thing you need to do. And that discussion will lead into them realizing, yes, I want to do this. That's where the discussion needs to lead. If they're overthinking and they're hesitant, the discussion will, I think the other C, it'll give them the confidence.
Ah,
The confidence to be like, yeah, I believe in this. Because if they didn't start it, they don't believe in it.
that's a good one. Dropping
Love that.
bars.
The fifth C. So it's not about becoming an influencer. It's about becoming someone people actually want to listen to because you're just trying to give them value.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Appreciate you guys coming on. This has been fun. I want to ask you guys more questions. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah.
We just scratched the surface.